name is Marcus. I work for One Press TV. First, I want to say it's great to have you here and welcome to Cannes. I want to ask you, Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton, how did you come in contact with this project, and what is important for you when you pick your roles?
I don't pick roles. I pick people, and I always have, and it's really served me well. So if it ain't broke, no, don't fix it. I'm not changing it now. And I was in Cannes, I know exactly now, 5 years ago, because it was the last birthday for Cannes, 70th. And I was invited to the celebration lunch. And I was very shy, and I didn't know very many people there. And I sat down opposite someone I didn't recognize, and we just fell into a very beautiful conversation. And about 15 minutes in, I realized it was George Miller. And that was it. The die was cast. We just hung out the whole day. We sat together with Bong Joon-ho in the evening. That was a very good table. And we just became friends quite quickly, but quite deeply. And then about a year later, he sent me a script, and this was it. So, but then, of course, I had already met him through his films. I'm sort of uber fan. I think that was one of the reasons it was so kind of tender to meet him in this rather beautiful way, because I didn't realize that this gentleman I was talking to was the creator of not only Mad Max, but Babe, of course, which was the first George Miller film I ever saw. I still say to my children, that'll do, pig, whenever they've achieved anything.
Before Idris answers, I've got to say, that's the first time you've uttered a truth to me that I realised, that is, you picked your directors, they don't pick you. And I said that to someone, and they said, yes, that's true, and I don't want to embarrass you, Tilda, but I realised very early on that I joined that great club of directors with whom Tilda has worked not only once, but several times. And I've had the first taste, but and there's a reason for that. And it's that comprehensively you approach the films not only as an actor, but an artist and a filmmaker. And so I'm a nascent member of that club, and I just hope that the future sees us doing something like this again.
I've got witnesses.
It's out there.
So you're inferior, sir? No. We had a question by second row.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Idris, did you want to answer that?
That's
it. I'll wait.
Sorry.
Well, just very quickly, Johnny Seal, who is an incredible DOP and has worked with George for many years, I have Johnny Seal's wife, Louise, to thank for meeting George, because George reminded me of this story. I was at the BAFTAs. I'm in my chair, and then I think there was an intermission, and then these two lovely ladies came over to me. One was Johnny Seal's wife, Louise, and Margie, your wife, and came over and said hello, and said, "Oh, we're with I think Mad Max was nominated at the time, right? Max was." And said, "Oh, we're with George Miller, and he'd like to say hello." Over there was George Miller. I was like, "What?" So I walked over and said hi, and we talked. I didn't think he knew who I was, but anyway, we just spoke for a second. And then a year later, probably at around, my agent Roger calls me and says, "George Miller would like to talk to you." After I fainted and got back up off the floor, I, ended up talking to George, and that's when he introduced me to this project. So thanks, Louise.
Yes.
And in terms of roles, I tend to sort of think about. Someone told me the other day that I've done over 100 films now. I didn't know that. I was like, wow. But I can say that I'm thankful that I haven't played the same character twice. And that's sort of what drives me, is when I look at a role, I think about whether this is someone that's new, it's new to my palette, is it going to stretch me? And that's how I sort of choose what I'm going to do next. Il est accompagné de ses comédiens.